Good evening. I'm Paweł Trzaskowski. This is Ukraine Brief. Today marks day 1422 since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Here are the latest stories of the day. Ukraine's electricity situation remains grim, with Russia again attacking energy infrastructure overnight and thousands of households across the country still without power. According to the Ukrainian Ministry of Infrastructure, Russian strikes against energy infrastructure have cut power to consumers in the Zhytomyr and Kharkiv regions. Energy workers continue restoring power across the country despite Russia's unrelenting attacks. President Zelenskyy said on Thursday that the situation in the capital remains particularly difficult, placing the blame on city authorities for inaction, which now requires national-level intervention. Kyiv residents have limited access to power and are often forced to resort to so-called resilience points to stay warm. In one suburban Kyiv railway station, 2 train wagons have been repurposed with diesel generators to ensure affected residents have access to everyday necessities. The Kyiv mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, said that about 300 apartment blocks still remain without heating. This is from 6,000 apartment buildings affected after the last Russian strike on January the 9th. In his address, President Zelenskyy announced immediate action to mitigate the consequences of Russia's attacks against Ukrainian energy infrastructure.
We will declare a state of emergency in the energy sector. This will allow more room to maneuver. The Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine will maximally simplify all processes related to reconnecting energy infrastructure to the grid. Zero bureaucracy. I have instructed them to increase electricity import capacities using all business mechanisms available. In Kyiv and other cities, there must be many more support points for people, more of these resilience centers.
Russia's attacks on Ukraine were relatively low. On Wednesday night, Moscow launched around 80 drones, most of which were intercepted by Ukrainian air defenses. Some drones, however, struck energy infrastructure and residential areas in several cities. CCTV footage captured the moment of the attack overnight when a Russian drone hit the center of the western city of Lviv. The drone strike came within meters of a woman shoveling snow, who, despite the massive explosion, stood still and then proceeded to continue with her chore. The footage of the undisturbed woman went viral in Ukraine, where many praised her resilience. Additionally, in the Kharkiv region, a Russian drone strike hit a private residence in the Kupiansky district, causing an explosion and fire. Rescuers from the regional state emergency service worked to extinguish the fire. No casualties or injuries were reported. In the Odesa region, the Russians struck a port of Chornomorsk, causing damage to a Maltese civilian cargo ship, as well as shipping containers. One person was injured as a result of the attack. While Russia continues its attack against Ukraine's people and infrastructure, President Trump said in an interview with Reuters yesterday that he believes Vladimir Putin is ready for peace. According to Trump, Putin is ready to reach a negotiated settlement to the war in Ukraine. However, Trump also claimed that President Zelenskyy is acting as an obstacle to peace. The president also reiterated the United States' willingness to provide security guarantees to Ukraine if a ceasefire is reached. The Kremlin today agreed with Trump's position and claimed that Zelenskyy has not taken sufficient action to end the war in Ukraine. Despite Washington and Moscow's allegations, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk released a statement this morning reminding that Russia has rejected the US peace plan while continuing to escalate attacks on Ukraine. That's all from Ukraine Brief today. Thank you for watching.